r/AskReddit, which country has the most wasted potential? Argentina. There are 4 kinds of economies: developed, developing, Japan, and Argentina. Yup. Compare Argentina and the United States in 1900, and then again in 2000. That's what political instability and extremism gets you. All other comments I have seen focus on natural resources, which Argentina also has a lot, but what makes Argentina special is that they also have cultural resources, infrastructure, and everything you needed to become world power, and they threw all that to the trash. End thread. As an ARG, I know I was gonna find us here at least top 3. Mexico. Extremely fertile. A lot of natural resources. Very intelligent, strong-willed, and hard-working people, but due to corrupt leadership and greed there is too much poverty. It also has access to both the Pacific and the Atlantic, easy access to the biggest market in the world, a young population, and probably some of the best diplomatic relations in the world. Russia. They could be rich as fuck with all their natural resources. They could have a completely overpowered industry given the cheapest energy in the world and their abundance in rare earth minerals and other materials. In a Western-style open market, they'd absolutely thrive if their leaders weren't so incredibly useless. Modern Russia is like a kid that's good at cheating on tests but not actually good at the subject, but they'd be great at the subject if they put as much effort into studying as they did cheating. If these comments have taught me anything, is that the overwhelming majority of the world is full of wasted potential. And that if could only get our shit together, we'd all be much better off. I've never seen any country get wasted more often than Haiti. Haiti was sabotaged. They couldn't have a successful country throwing off slavery. Pakistan. 250 million, mostly young population. Fertile mineral-rich land. Only to be wasted due to absence of justice and rule of law. Might is right over there. Especially since they had the backing of the Western world since independence, as it was thought they would be the successful democracy and India would be the failed state. They were right in a sense, as Pakistan was the much richer and more developed country until the late 1990s. It just goes to show how religious zealotry can damage a country. Now their former colony Bangladesh is richer than them. Brazil. The main player from South America. Incredible biotechnology, not involved in any wars. Economically giant. And yet it's getting worse by the minute. What are Brazil's biggest challenges? My partner is Brazilian and I visited, but I can't figure out what makes it so things don't work. Antarctica keeps melting. It used to be so cool. /throws a tomato /LMAO. That's what you get when you try to get ants to build you an Arctic paradise for you. Iran. Except Norway. They took a resource boom, made a fuckton of money, and then plowed that money into a bunch of sensible investments. They somehow made it work. North Korea stands out as a stark example of wasted potential. The oppressive regime has created a nightmarish environment, stifling the potential of its citizens outside the ruling party. The stark contrast with South Korea, which boasts impressive global statistics, highlights the untapped possibilities that could flourish if freedom and opportunities were granted to all in North Korea. Latin America, due to all of the years of corruption and dictators who were bad at economics. Name African country. A lot of countries there have plenty of rare minerals and resources. They're just taken advantage of by everyone. Especially by their own politicians and government. Nigeria comes to mind. The people work hard, but the wealth is all siphoned off by politicians and their cronies and into personal offshore accounts. It's sad. There are up-and-coming African countries, like Rwanda or Botswana, so I would hesitate to paint the entire continent with the same broad brush. It will be a very different continent in like 30 to 50 years. Argentina. There's 4 types of economies in the world: developed, developing, Japan, and Argentina. What's with Japan? Mexico. We have abundant oil, beautiful biodiversity, so many natural resources, beautiful culture, and awesome people. Yet our government is shit and cartels run the country. Papua New Guinea. Abundant natural resources, beautiful nature, former British colony. Most dangerous country in the region and one of the most dangerous in the world, which is a massive barrier to development. As far as I know, their geography is a nightmare and they have so many ethnicities which can't even understand each other because they have lived isolation for centuries. DR Congo for sure. Immense natural resources, but no infrastructure and little government support. The UK. Literally threw away a big early lead in nation building, now tumbling down the order in quality of life. Perhaps the biggest misstep was gifting all the North Sea oil, thanks Thatcher, wealth into private hands, when our contemporaries in Norway set up a sovereign wealth fund and kept it all for their citizens, to the tune of 1.3 trillion dollars at my last count. Well, you had an empire for a couple of centuries. I wouldn't call it wasted potential. Eat yourselves over with Brexit though, that's for sure. Not a country, but a region. Is definitely Latin America. DRC. Spain is definitely not the worst, but as someone from North Europe living here, I'm just thinking you save a lot of money on heating / insulation / etc. You can grow food for much longer. People come from all over the world and throw their money at you. Lots of smart and well-educated people. And still your economy is in the toilet. Many East Europe and Asian countries like Afghanistan or Uzbekistan are underrated and have a huge potential. In fact, Uzbekistan used to have many natural resources, still has, and has / had many natural oases. Unfortunately, the Soviets dried most of the economy out, and today even most of the Aral Sea has vanished, due to the need for water. Venezuela. Oil reserves, bountiful natural resources, gorgeous beaches, sites, and temperatures. And it's all wasted by a corrupt socialist government yielding crazy inflation and poverty. Post-WW2, Americans used to vacation in Venezuela and be in envy at the standard of living Venezuelans had. This is way too far down. Definitely Venezuela. This is the answer. Whilst Russia, Argentina, and Pakistan, maybe Peru too, may have claims that they have lots of unfulfilled potential, at least they have done something. The DR Congo could be another Brazil with no effort at all, and the USA with competent government. The gap between potential and achievement is mind-blowing. At least the planet benefits whilst it remains undeveloped. Moldova could have become unified with Romania and be such an amazing agricultural country with lots of potential. Sadly, Putin keeps this obscure breakaway state Transnistria that prevents Moldova from uniting with Romania. Sad stuff, sad face. India, corruption and bureaucratic incompetence driving the best and brightest out of the country to become CEOs of global multinational corporations, or scientists, doctors, or engineers or researchers of other foreign entities. Russia. It's a power, but it's entirely based on potential military force that could be expended now. If it focused on economic power, Russia could be truly scary. Unfortunately for Russia, these things are mutually exclusive once someone calls them out on the first, so yeah. Russia, and it's not even close. Imagine controlling the single largest land mass by nearly double any other country. Imagine having access to the Northern Passage as it thaws. Imagine connecting Europe and China. Now imagine not going for an economic victory. Sri Lanka. Geographically placed in an ideal location and natural beauty, has been plagued by political instability and corruption. Argentina and Russia. My own country, Australia. We all stick to the fucking coast. There's millions of acres of desert perfect for a Las Vegas 2.0. And since gambling and brothels are legal, it's literally the perfect place for a legalist city of sin, just Aussie. I sadly agree. We are known globally as the world's mining site. Have you even to Brazil? Such a waste. So much land and resources, but the culture is fucked up. People act like tribes. Brazil is a country of future, and always will be. Philippines. On the cusp of being an economic powerhouse in Asia in the 60s, but shit happened. Brazil tourism is ridiculously wasted. It should be amongst the top tourist destinations in the world with its extensive coast with tropical beaches, the Amazon, Pantanal, and so on, but it's so underdeveloped. I don't see where the culture is fucked up. It is wasted indeed, but because of the corruption on politics ingrained on the society. Always felt like Mexico. Right next to the big dog, but they let the cartels ruin it. So many people would travel there if it were thought safe outside of like those shit-ass hotel campuses. Corrupt cops and officials let cartels ruin it. After WW2, they were close allies with the US, spoke English, had many natural resources and potential workers, and were a port country to China and all the SE Asian countries. But decades of corrupt and incompetent politicians till this day ruined their chances. Egypt. Used to have one of the most educated young population in the region. Lots of STEM graduates end up as taxi drivers. Lots of fertile land and yet the largest wheat importer in the world. Lots of mineral, oil, and gas that are not even explored yet. Also, it should be a touristic destination, but... Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.